Good morning. It's a great day here at Elville and Associates, and welcome to our webinar, a new topic for our series, Aging in Place and Downsizing for Your Next Chapter, presented by Ms. Karen Lawlor and Ms. Donna Weaver, Realtors and Seniors Real Estate Specialists with the Wendy Slaughter team at Elevate Real Estate Brokerage. My name, as always, is Jeff Stauffer, Community Relations Director with Elville and Associates, and I'll be your moderator and host for today's presentation. So how this will work today, if you're new to our webinar series, welcome. We're glad you're here. If you're a returning attendee, welcome back. We encourage your general questions throughout the presentation, so please note them in the questions panel on your screen, and we'll pause periodically and leave time at the end to address all of your questions. For our professionals on today's webinar, welcome as well. For CFPs, CPAs, and most others attending, we can offer you one continuing education hour for being here today. And per my attendance records requirements, if I don't have it on file already, please send me your ID number as soon as possible so I can submit your CERs for approval on Thursday morning and also provide attendance certificates as well when applicable. Everyone will also receive a post-webinar feedback email right after the presentation, so please take just a couple minutes to fill out this very brief and simple survey. Offers your feedback and comments about today's presentation, and we read and value every comment that you have to share with us. Here at Elville and Associates, through planning and elder law techniques, our attorneys work every day with families and individuals with the ideals of client education, collaboration, and compassion in mind with every client every day. We're always available for consultations to discuss your family's planning needs, and always look forward to being a resource to you. So I have the distinct pleasure to introduce our presenters today. They're back with us for, I think, a third time. Presenting will be Ms. Donna Weaver, a Realtor and Seniors Real Estate Specialist, and Ms. Karen Lawlor, also a Realtor and Seniors Real Estate Specialist. Serving both her clients and her community, Donna always goes above and beyond in everything she does, whether she is carefully guiding her clients through each step of the buying or selling process, or volunteering to help make a positive impact in the community. You can always count on her to put you and your best interests first. As she says, quote, "I truly love being a realtor, but it's not just what I do, it's who I am." Also presenting is Ms. Karen Lawlor, who is also a Realtor and Seniors Real Estate Specialist. She has worked with top regional and national home builders, as well as premier realtors throughout Maryland to stage thousands of homes for sale. She has been chosen to design spec and model homes for new construction sales. Karen keeps current on education and interior design to evolve with the changing trends and top selling features. So Donna and Karen, welcome back. Thanks for being here today. We always appreciate your insight and your time, and thank you for all you do for the community. I've personally worked with Donna and Karen for the sale of my aunt's house after she passed through the estate administration process. And I'll say just really quickly beforehand, I thought that the sale of my aunt's home was going to be the most challenging part of the administration process, and it actually, with Donna and Karen's help, turned out to be the easiest part and the most seamless part. So I know firsthand about their expertise and how great they are to work with. So again, thanks for being here. I will turn it over to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. So thank you, Jeff, for introducing us. I'm Karen, and this is Donna. Our office is in Howard County, it's in Columbia, and we've been agents in this county for close to 20 years. So we would like to just jump into what we're going to talk about today. It's kind of like a twist on a new subject for us. And if you have any questions at any time, feel free to type those in. But we're going to, as always, give you a market update and let you know what's going on in the market. We're going to talk about what it means to age in place. We'll go through the common myths about downsizing and hopefully answer some questions for you there that you might have. Finding your happy place. If it turns out that aging in place isn't going to work for you, we'll give you some ideas on where you can go from there, and then you would have to prepare your home for sale if you decide that there is a better solution for you elsewhere.
Okay. I mean, I'm just going to say this, you can see it on this chart. Right now, if you want to know anything about what's going on in the market, you know, what we are seeing compared to last year even is low inventory, which I'm sure, you know, you can probably tell or have heard. I think with the interest rates the way they are when they were low and the interest rates now for buyers because they're high, the market is kind of slowing down a bit, and especially here in Howard County, the active listings are way down.
And this chart just gives you, I have to move my little screen here, the home index demand. So you can see from last year through the whole year to being the blue line, and this year being the orange line, you know, how it's dipped down. So, you know, just generally there's been, you know, less activity compared to last year. There's a giant slope at the end there. So it's really slowed down right now for various reasons. Like Donna said, interest rates, which I think is the next slide here. So to talk about interest rates a little bit, you know, down in, do you remember those days? Down in January of 2022, your 2% and 3% interest rates, even on vacation homes and second homes, it was amazing. And then, you know, we're all the way zigzagged up here at 8. And then I think it's just come down a little bit recently as of the end of last week, under 8. So at 7.5, 7 3/4. So that's a little, that's positive. I haven't seen an influx of movement yet in the market, but that's what's going on. Do you have anything else to add, Donna?
No, not really. I mean, I think, you know, it's, there, you know, we can predict, but no one knows for sure. We don't have a crystal ball, so we can't tell what's going to happen. But some of the experts are saying that by mid to end of the year next year, things should change a little bit, where rates will stabilize or come down. And when they do, we'll probably see more of an influx of buyers coming back into the market, because a lot of buyers have kind of jumped off and said, I'm going to wait. Because they don't, you know, their buying power is a lot less now that these rates are so much higher. So I think, you know, sellers also feel kind of handcuffed. I mean, they refinanced at the lower interest rates, so they feel more comfortable with their mortgage payments, and they're staying put because they know they can't buy at the same rates anymore. So.
Right. I'll tell you the good news about this and what we've been seeing on our end is when the interest rates back in 2022, when they were really low, you know, each listing was getting a huge amount of offers. You know, the buyers were competing heavily over them. You know, we've seen a lot of buyers waive, you know, the ability to do a home inspection. You know, they're waiving their option for that. Paying cash for the appraisal gaps. It was just kind of getting out of control. The good news for buyers is right now, it's not so crazy. So buyers have a better chance of getting the house that they want and getting their home inspection request accepted. So that's the positive thing about it.
Yeah, I would say, you know, properties look like there's, it really depends on location, condition of the property, right? But I'm seeing homes sit on market a little bit longer right now. Even properties that are coming back on market or having a price reduction. So I'm seeing that as well.
Right.
So yeah, you know, we're kind of tweaking our presentation this time to talk a little bit about aging in place, because moving isn't for everyone. And I think many people do want to age in place if they can do so comfortably and do so safely. So, you know, we wanted to kind of touch on this a little bit today. And I don't know, Karen, if you want to cover this, but these are the activities of daily living, which are skills that a person needs to take care of themselves according to the healthcare community.
Exactly.
And, we have, I don't know if people are aware of this, but for those that do want to stay in their homes and make modifications so that they can safely live in their home, there are independent living tax credits that are available to the community. And I had learned about it maybe a year ago, and I felt like a lot of people have not heard about this tax credit. So, you can definitely go visit the Department of Housing and Community Development. I have a link at the bottom there, but there are renovations that you can make to your home and actually get credit back for doing so on your property taxes.
Yeah, that's fantastic. All right, so aging in place in your current home, these kind of tie into the, ADLs, being able to live safely in your home. And, if you need to make modifications, Donna and I, at our brokerage, we have a platinum program where we partner with a lot of people that can, come in and help you with renovations. In that picture, if you need a ramp or a grab bar in the shower, a chairlift to go up the stairs, these are all the things that you might need to have in your house to live throughout aging. And then, caregivers. And we have a whole list of companies that we work with that can provide in-home care, skilled nursing, if you need transportation. And, these, like I said, we have all of these resources. So we're not just here for, if you're ready to list your home, we're ready to list it. But if you are looking to age in place and you need any of these resources, that's why we're doing this presentation, to ask you to reach out to us and we can help you with that.
Donna and Karen,
Sure.
quick question. I know you're not financial advisors, but do you have any thoughts on long-term care insurance for anyone who plans to age in place?
Ooh, that's a
question from the audience.
Yeah,
I mean, I just can talk personally. I'm not a financial advisor or anything, but I personally have long-term care insurance.
You what, Karen?
I personally have long-term care insurance.
You do? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I've looked at it and I just know it's very expensive.
And I'll tell you why I got it, if you just want me to be candid and let you know.
Sure.
So when I first started working, with the senior communities, and I first started working with like the independent living and the assisted living communities back when I was looking for a place for, my father-in-law, my parents and all that. And I went to, the very first place I went to was Brightview in Catonsville. And I was so amazed and I wanted to move in there right away. I asked them if they had an age limit. It looked like paradise to me. And after seeing that, I wanted to make sure that I was going to be covered and that I had money, because long-term care insurance isn't just for aging in place at home. You can also use it when you go to a facility. And I wanted to be able to go to a really nice facility like that. So I immediately bought long-term care insurance after touring that community.
Okay, thank you for the feedback.
Sure. And that kind of, we can talk about all the different places that's possible for you to move to. Of course, a smaller home, if the yard maintenance isn't something that you're trying to get away from, then maybe just downsizing to a smaller home. There are senior rental properties. Moving in with family and friends, if you have that option, is always an option. And then retirement communities. There are a lot of really nice 55 plus communities in our area with villas and townhouses and condos, and they have social activities, and they're very independent. And then when you get to the like assisted living facilities, some of the independent and assisted living facilities are together. And for the independent ones, you need to be able to maintain all of those independent living IDLs, all the activities that we talked about on the last screen that you can handle for yourself. And then if you can't, with the assisted living, they assess you. And then when they move you into the assisted living, they just kind of calculate how many hours of care you would need depending on the daily living activities that you could do.
And these are just an example of some of the 55 plus living communities in Howard County, but there's more. We're just naming some of them that are popular.
Mm-hmm. And then here's a few of the communities that have independent and assisted living in Howard County.
So
but
this
again,
was the example that you said, if you want to, have independent living initially, and then as you age, if you need assistance, you can move into that within the same community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's also, continuing care facilities that go further than have nursing care and memory care. So again, please let us be a resource for you if you're looking for any of these for yourself or for a loved one. And then let's talk about some facts and myths about downsizing. And hopefully we can clear some thoughts up for you.
Sure. So yeah, these are just things that I think we hear often, which is, people get frozen because they feel like, hey, I've just got too much stuff and I just don't know where to begin. And there's no way on earth I can sell my house because I just don't know how to get rid of my stuff or even know where to begin. And I would say, most of us do, is the bottom line. And once you put a plan in place or you have someone to work with that's knowledgeable about downsizing, it's amazing that how much you can get done in a short period of time. And really, no job is too big when you have the right team of people to help you manage it.
And then the next myth is the market isn't good right now because spring might be the best time to sell. And that's not necessarily true. In the spring, you've got a lot of inventory out there, so you've got a lot of competition. So sometimes it's good to sell during the holidays. Buyers need to buy throughout the year for different reasons. So when you have, the least amount of competing homes on the market, sometimes you end up doing better. So anytime is really a good time to sell.
Yeah, I would just add, people move throughout the year. There are always people, especially to this area. It's a sought after area and people want to be here and they're moving for jobs. And it's still very much a seller's market because of the low inventory, and there's still buyers out there now coming in. So I would just add that.
And then my home needs too much work and I don't have the money to make repairs. So we're going to talk about that. And, Donna and I have seen over and over again that, condition matters. And so when your house is in great condition, cosmetically, and the systems are up to date, you are going to make more money on your home. So we're going to talk through and show you some examples of that. And we'll hit on that a little bit further.
Yeah, I would just say though, I just want to back up a minute and just say every home will sell. I haven't seen a home not sell. Have you, Karen? You can sell a home in as-is condition at the right price. It's all about what you're comfortable with and what you want to net in the sale of your home. So that becomes the challenge. And for me, when working with my clients, I always like to start with the end in mind and help them understand what they're going to net if they sell at a certain price based on all the numbers, any kind of repair that they put into the home, or any updates that they might make. If they sell at X, what is our forecast as far as what they'll make at the end? And my goal is always a penny in, 2 pennies out. So if you're going to make a repair or make an update, it has to be worth it.
Right. and Donna and I have seen over and over again, and everyone knows this, that the kitchen is the heart of the home, and that's what sings to buyers. And this is just an example of the before picture. If a buyer is flipping through homes to go see them, and they come across the before picture of this kitchen, and then they come across the after picture, I guarantee you that the after is going to get a lot more showings. It's going to get a lot more attention and activity, and that renovation pays off.
And Karen, isn't this, I mean, it wasn't all that much, like what they did here. I forget.
Yeah,
if there
it looks
was
like they didn't change the layout too much. I mean, they moved the stove a little bit, but I don't think they took down any walls or anything.
Right.
So that it's pretty basic in that respect.
Mm-hmm.
This
Donna and Karen,
one,
I'm sorry, I
that?
apologize. We have a question saying, can you please say a little bit more about working with the right team of people to get rid of stuff? Any recommendations?
Yeah, so in our Platinum program, we have a whole list of partners that we work with. If you need to, if you want to sell your stuff through consignment, we have a company that we work with, Stress Free Solutions. They do an auction every Wednesday. They'll come pick up your stuff.
And you can reach out to us, definitely for those resources.
And then I think in part of that question, did they ask about, also renovations in our brokerage? We have 2 companies in particular that we work with that are right there at our beck and call to make these renovations. I mean, every time I've reached out to them, I've met with a seller and I kind of give them a plan and let them know what we want to do. I think every time they've started like a week later. And then my renovations have averaged about like 3 weeks, and then they're on the market like a month later, which is amazing.
Yeah, and the nice part about our contractors that are on staff, we have an option for our clients where any and all renovation or repairs or updates made to the home the cost for making those can be deferred until time of settlement. So you're not necessarily having to come out of pocket up front for those things. You can do it at the end at settlement. And I think another thing to point out in using that option is that it's one contractor for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't necessarily have to engage, like I had clients that were elderly that were trying to, have a painter come in at certain time, people for flooring at another time, and then people would cancel inevitably and have to reschedule, and just managing that whole process. When you engage with our contractors, they report to us. So everything has to stay on track and within a certain timeline. So there's some benefits to that option, but it is an option.
Exactly. You can use your own contractors if you want to, but then you kind of have to be the general contractor and manage it. This way you don't have to do anything. So either way, we just try and make it easier for you, which is the whole reason why we, Donna and I spend a lot of time networking with all the different services that touch the senior community, so we can provide those resources for you. And then you just asked about decluttering and selling and sorting and packing. So yes, we have organizers that can help you. We coordinate with the organizers that can help you do all these things. And there's little tricks. It's, you just got to get started. I was telling Donna the other day when we were working on this presentation, I was so proud of myself because I have a giant basement filled with junk from the past like 20 years. And I finally went down there and, with the intention of filling up 1 contractor bag. And then I filled up 7. And then I put them out by the trash. And then they were gone the next day. And it made me feel so good. So you just kind of have to get started. And once you start, it's easier. So you just have to grab that contractor bag and get started. Because I think that's how it starts. And then comes the, like what's left with the organizing and the packing and the systems.
Right. I think also looking at it as 1 room at a time. Mm-hmm. And the sticker method is kind of nice because if you've got 4 different colored stickers, you can say this, I'm going to put a little sticker on this. It says keep, this is to donate, this is to discard, and this is to sell. Then you're kind of, you can just concentrate on one room at a time. And I think it makes it easier.
Right. So we understand that this is the most daunting part. And this is why a lot of people, kind of put off making that move. But we can bring in help to encourage you.
Oh, and this is probably, in my opinion, when you're getting ready to sell a home, this is an area that I think is of utmost importance. You don't have to replace all your systems if they're old. Like, I'll give an example, an HVAC system. It might be old, as long as it's in good working condition. That's important, right? As long as, like here, you're seeing an example of peeling paint. These are cosmetic things that can go a long way if you were to just clean them up. But as far as your HVAC, your hot water heater, your roof, as long as these things are in good working condition, because that's what buyers want to know when they go out with me. The very first thing they want to know is, how old are the major systems? Because those are the things that cost the most.
And, if a buyer walks up to your house and then this is visible, these are just things that they're ticking off of the list price. We're going to have to fix all these items, and you don't want to give the buyer to have any objections. And here's a really good example of some of the things that we were talking about.
Yeah, this is, they changed the siding on this house from a horizontal siding to a vertical. It's hard to tell in this picture, but it made and then they stained the deck.
Yeah, so, they didn't do much. They didn't replace any of the decking, just cleaned it up and stained it, and then replaced the siding to make it look more modern.
Oh, and here, this, this house had a big dead tree in front of it, and they took the tree down. And it really opened up and made it look amazing.
And here's, I think on the left, the before picture is a typical bathroom, typical outdated bathroom. And again, very easy updates. They didn't change the layout or anything like that. And obviously, the buyers want the bathroom on the right. So that's pretty easy to see. This one they did change a lot, and it's spectacular. So, maybe in a larger house where, you tend to get that money back, the investment, return on investment, that's a good way to go. And we can help you with our ideas and the design and the colors and the materials. So don't think you have to, imagine and come up with a solution. This renovation, I like to show, did they keep? Yeah, so trying to think if they replaced the cabinets, but they opened up the wall for sure. So in the beginning, through the before picture, there's this wall which made the kitchen feel really closed in, and the top layer of cabinets that they took down to just open up the space. And this was just they did very well on this one too. And I just listed this, and gosh, it was just a couple months ago. So like even in this market, that, like I said, the condition matters, and all the flooring was replaced and painting, and the seller used one of our companies and didn't have to plan anything.
Karen and Donna, can we pause for a few questions? This section
Absolutely
piqued some questions here. Let's start with the first one. What places offer an independent cottage within a retirement community assisted living? Mom doesn't want to be anywhere with a shared wall.
So I know a couple, a cottage, right?
Oh, a cottage.
Yes, independent cottage.
Yeah, I know, actually, and we have a listing right now from our brokerage. So Leisure World out in Silver Spring has some like rancher style homes. They're They're not attached to anything. So they're like single ranchers. And little cottages I've seen at, I have to think, kind of remember the name. It's called Brook something. It's in Olney. And they also have like little cottages. So those are two places that come to the top of my head.
Is that Brook Grove?
Yes, Brook Grove.
Yeah, Brook Grove.
And yeah, those are the detached ones that I can think of.
Okay.
Donna, do you know any off the top of your head?
No, those were the ones that I was thinking of as well. I mean, we can look for you.
Yeah.
And get you more information if you want to reach out. I mean, we can certainly research and find others.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next question is regarding downsizing. Do the presenters, meaning you, have experience with sales of homes abroad?
I do not.
I do not. But you can reach out to us with your particulars and we can reach out and see if we could help you.
We can definitely refer, but I don't personally have experience selling homes abroad. I'm licensed in the state of Maryland, and I think you are too, Karen, but
Yep.
You're also licensed in Delaware.
No, I'm not. I have a partner that I partner with that's licensed in Delaware. So.
Okay. Next is, as realtors, do you prefer a house to be empty of furniture or with one's furniture, or do you place virtual furniture in homes to be sold?
That's a great segue to our next slide.
Yeah. So that's all the above, in my opinion. It really depends. But I mean, this shot that you're looking at right here, this is actually physical staging in one of my listings, because it really warranted it. You know, virtual staging is great. I mean, people can't really even tell that it's not real furniture. I mean, and it's not, but when you go to the actual listing and walk through it, you know, you can see it empty or you can see it full of furniture. And oftentimes, in my opinion, depending on the house, having that furniture in the house when people come through, it kind of warms it up and makes people understand the space better, what they can do with it. And, you know, I find that it's a really nice way to present your home. Your home sells, in my opinion, quicker. The listings that I've had that have been physically staged sell quicker. But
and
you know,
I want to go back to the last slide for a second to continue. Well, you can't see too many things here, but this one, I did a combination. Oh, you can't see any of the virtual staging in this picture. So right now, all of these accessories were physical staging, but we also had this listing virtually staged. So let me fast forward to 2 slides. And, oh, this is more physical staging.
this is physical.
I'll just pause here for a second. And here's our virtual staging. So before the empty condo and then after. So I don't know about you, but I could hardly tell.
Right. So I mean, what we're trying to do is get our clients as much exposure as possible and bring as many buyers as possible through to see the home. So, you know, I think this is a great way to do that. We don't hide the fact that it's virtual staging, but we do want to show people what they can do with this space. So we may have both of these pictures in our listing.
Mm-hmm.
One showing the empty room, one showing the room with furniture.
So here's another virtual staging. And yeah, so hopefully you can see the benefits of doing that. And so for our listings, we don't charge the seller anything for our virtual staging. That's something that we provide as a just marketing benefit for listing with us. I think it makes a tremendous difference. And then we just kind of like want to summarize our platinum program. You know, what we had mentioned before, you know, Donna had mentioned the pay at settlement option. If you need to do any renovations to make your any cosmetic changes, which really, really go a long way with getting people into the property and giving you, you know, your return on investment or your biggest asset. And then all the other things leading up to it, we can bring in partners for decluttering, organizing, donating, you know, making dump runs, whatever you need.
Yeah, and this is, you know, just again, as Karen said, you know, we've got a ton of resources and these are just some of them. So, you know.
Yeah, whether you're looking to stay in your home, give us a call and we can hook you up with our contacts, or whether you're ready to make a move. And just a little bit about our team. We were recently voted Best of Howard, so we're super happy about that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I think 89% of our business comes from referrals. So, you know, we're very flattered by that number since it shows that people are having a positive experience with us and refer us to their friends and family and neighbors. And our little old team is in the top 1% in the state of Maryland. So I think we have like 15 agents on our team, which I find impressive because we're not a team of 40 people.
Right. I think it's all about the experience. We want our clients to come away having a good experience because this is one of the most important things you'll ever do. It's one of the greatest assets that you have to either buy or sell a home. And, you know, we take and honor that commitment to do our very best and to make the experience the best it can possibly be.
And our whole goal for doing everything, all of this, our whole purpose is just to reduce your stress. You know, like we were talking about, you know, getting a company in so you don't have to find every little, you know, resource to handle everything that you need to get done to prepare your home for sale, because it's a lot. It's a stressful time. And so, you know, we want to take that on because this is what we do every day. So you can focus on where you're going and going to your happy place. Wherever that may be. So do you guys have any more questions?
Thanks, Karen, Donna. We do have a few more questions here, and I'll start with the first one. Do you work with companies that do estate sales? I live in a condo and cannot hold a sale in my own home. Shipping to the estate sale is costly.
So the condo that you live in will not allow somebody to come in to do the sale?
Maybe, Joanne, you can provide a little bit more information, but I assume that saying here, I live in a condo and cannot hold a sale in my home, maybe space is an issue or it's not allowed. I'm not sure. Maybe she can provide a little bit more information.
Yeah, I'd like to know because, you know, we do have companies that can come and help with that. And we do know, I know estate sale companies that can come in and actually organize anything and put those items online for an online auction.
She's saying, I'm sorry, she's saying she is not allowed to hold a sale. Yeah.
She's not allowed to hold a sale.
So just like you're saying, Donna, you know, the companies, I guess Max Hold and Stress Solutions would come pick up the stuff and have an auction.
Right.
So it's not in her home, but they would pick it up and do an estate sale, essentially.
There are options. And,
yeah.
And if you want to learn more, you know, we can certainly connect you.
Right.
Okay. I have a comment. If you want to comment any further, it says Asbury Methodist Village in Gaithersburg, Maryland has cottages too. Grandview and Bethesda under construction will have them, but for a later phase of building. So thank you, Gloria, for those comments. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Asbury, it's I believe it's one of the oldest continuing care retirement communities in the entire country. It's beautiful, very beautiful. And another question, it says, are ranchers still being built in Maryland?
Yeah, so they are in some areas I have seen, I mean, I looked at some for some of my clients, not many,
Not many.
and I do see that we still have issues with senior housing, you know, throughout Maryland. We need more, and we need more bedrooms on the primary, you know, level, on the main level. And I think those have become like the most, the renovations that are being made these days are just specifically for that, like to add an addition for another a main primary bedroom on the main level, or even add a elevator. People are building closets that are stacking from one level to the next, because the majority of homes in Maryland are colonials, not ranchers. And but those seem to be the most expensive, or let's say the most sought after updates that people that are seniors that are making to their homes right now. But ranchers are being built, but there's very little.
It's just because of the land, you know, it's just easier to build up than long.
Yeah, I'm just, I'm thinking about my mom, actually. She's having that conversation in her head right now. She's getting a little bit older and lives in a rancher, a beautiful rancher, and is starting to think about the process. So if anybody wants to move into a rancher, she might have one for you down the road.
There you go.
My mind started to wander there for a second, so sorry about
They
that.
don't last. The ranchers that go up for sale here sell very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, my childhood home of very long time. So yeah, be hard to see that go, but might be time for her. Whatever is best for her is what I'm all for.
Right.
So, so no more questions as of right now. So Donna and Karen, thank you so much. Really helpful information as always. And so now would be a great time to get your last questions into Donna Weaver and Karen Lawlor. As we move forward with our webinar series before Thanksgiving, want to thank you for your interest in our webinar series. We're thankful for you. We have a busy week next week before we take a pause for Thanksgiving. Next Wednesday, we have our trustee selection and how to choose the right one for you. That's with Steve Elville. We do that on a quarterly basis. And then next Thursday, we have our senior principal, Lindsay Moss, talking about VA aid and attendance. She is a VA accredited attorney and our senior elder law attorney here at the firm. A lot of good information to share there Thursday at 10 o'clock. And then on Friday, I don't know why I scheduled 3 in a row. I don't know why I did that to myself, but I somehow did. Friday, estate planning and elder law essentials at 10 o'clock, also with Steve Elville. So 3 of our popular presentations all in a row for you. I'll have the video and slides for today sent back out to you by tomorrow morning. And for our professionals, all CE information sent out by that time as well. So let's check to see if we have any final questions, and then we'll call this one a wrap. Okay, we do have another one. It says, can you talk about the many contractors contacting us in hot communities wanting to buy? Any thoughts about that?
Contractors or investors?
It says here, talk about the many contractors contacting us in, yeah, she says contractors, she reiterated that. Talk about the many contractors contacting us in hot communities wanting to buy.
Wow. You mean like buy your house for cash?
Yes, she says yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're investors.
That's I mean, that's been going on forever, you know, where people, you know, they know the age of the house and they can find out how long people have been in homes, and they do mass mailings, and they're offering you know, we'll pay cash for your home, and they're coming in and kind of lowballing, and
Right.
they're looking for a good deal. And
right. I would tell you to contact us so we can tell you the value of your home.
Right.
And then you could make your decision on what you want to do.
Yeah, I would be cautious of those type of organizations that are trying to do that.
That's a good thought. And another question from a really good client of ours. Hi there, Nancy. Says, I'm not ready to sell, but would like to eliminate stuff. Do we need to have a contract to sell to take advantage of your resources?
No,
No, not at all. Just reach out to us. We're happy to help.
we're happy to help.
Thank you.
And we do this because we hope that one day when it comes time to sell, that you'll, give us a call and choose us. We'll come out to your house and we'll give you advice. We'll, run numbers for you, tell you what your house is worth, just to kind of be a trusted advisor to you. And it's also, perhaps if you have a good experience with us, that you could refer us to your friends, family, and neighbors. So that's what it's all about. And
Sure.
just we try to be as helpful as possible, just to create a, helpful relationship with you.
Sounds good. That's the way business works.
Yeah.
Good relationships work too. So,
Yeah, we're
all
in
right.
it full time. I mean, this is what we do. And, it's a joy to be able to help people get ready. And I think oftentimes if you're like a year out, you think that's a long way away. It's really not.
And I wanted to say something about that. We actually would like you to contact us early, because if you're going to make renovations in your house and improvements, I'd like to see you enjoy them. It's a shame when people, like these pictures that I showed you of the renovations, people did it right before they sold. They actually moved out, renovated the house, and then they've never lived in it and have enjoyed it. So we would love for you to enjoy your renovations before you're ready to make your next move.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Donna and Karen. We appreciate you being here as always. Great information. I think that'll be it for us today.
All right.
Any questions,
Thank
reach out
you.
to Donna and Karen. Is your contact information in a slide here, or I'll send that out in my follow-up message?
I think it was on the first page.
Okay.
No,
It should be here, but it's not.
That's okay. I will send out that information in my message to everybody, I promise. So, all right. Thank you so much. Appreciate you being part of the Elville webinar series, and we'll see you all again soon. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
tuning in.